there are a lot of people using macro devices, probably soft aim, and Cronus Zens, which is like borderline sticky aim, like soft aim basically. There's no way to detect it, and while I know I don't cheat, I know that every time I go into an event or arena, there's a good chance I'm playing with people who aren't playing the game how it's supposed to be played. All right guys, what is up? It's your boy Cole, back with another video. This video we're going to be going, just so you guys know, change my shirt, same day. This video we're going to be going over things in Fortnite that need to be fixed, whether it's a bug, whether it's whether it's anything in the game that just needs fixing. And keep in mind, I think if Epic sees this or someone sees this, it'll be super helpful, and maybe we can get these changed. These probably won't happen. I'm not hopeful, but if they did, I think they'd make the game overall better, or at least if we could get some clarification, some communication from Epic, I think that would be huge, and that'd be more than enough to be like, hey, we acknowledge this issue, we just want communication, that is it, and that's all I'm stressing. I don't mean to sound like a complainer, but these things are big issues that affect the game competitively or non-competitively. It's just frustrating dying to something out of your control, or having things out of your control that cause your game to go wrong is incredibly frustrating, I think, for casuals and competitive players. So hopefully it comes off as me less complaining and me just trying to help you guys out and help Epic understand, if someone does see the video there, what is going on here. And also keep in mind that a lot of these issues I tailored towards things that are in the game for seasons and seasons. Like, I'm trying not to think about things that have been in the game for like one season, like aliens on people's heads that are very frustrating, like, or people may like, I don't think they do. Like, I'm not going to talk about the aliens because that's a season thing and it'll probably be gone next season. Obviously that's an issue though, so take them out, please. I'm annoyed. They are a get out of jail free card. There are some honorable mentions, but for the most part, I have an entire list. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe. Let's get right into it. For right now, this might go on Twitter, this little section, but I'm going to read the list out loud. I'm going to go over it for you guys. Just so you guys know, and then I'm going to show some examples potentially in game, and I may or may not show examples in game, but this is my list right now. So things in Fortnite / bugs that need to be fixed. And again, keep in mind that is only things that are ongoing issues, or they don't seem like seasonal issues. Like, I don't want to, like I said, aliens, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do like other things that are involved in the season as much. Let's start at the top of the list. In-game brightness and darkness, balancing out the differences between controller and keyboard and mouse, lack of POIs, 100% chest spawns, moving surge, arena revamp, which I did in another video. You guys can watch that video. It's my last one probably, or it'll come up before or after this. I don't know. It'll be out. Good video. Stream sniper support for streamers, and like them getting banned. Fire nerf. Cosmic chest giving RPGs and or no weapons. Cronus Zen / anti-cheat is a thing we need to talk about for sure. Storm bug, like zone bug, basically on mountains. Knocked bodies being near walls. Items being inside chests and henchman chests that when are open basically are inside the crate and you can't get them out without breaking the crate or the floor. And no aim assist on certain spots of the map, and you can't build in certain spots. Those are all my issues that I think are things that really need to be fixed right now, or as soon as possible, to help the game, because they're incredibly frustrating to die to, or to lose to, or to have happen to you. It's incredibly frustrating. They're all things that are pretty hard to prevent. Now we're going to get into detail on all these things, and I think it's really important that we talk about these things in detail, because some of you guys might not know what I meant even from that bullet point list. So the first thing, in-game brightness / darkness. So here, for in-game brightness / darkness, I don't think there's a lot I can really say about it. I don't have too many examples. I don't have any examples, but like, so when I talk about this, like about my game being too bright or too dark, people say, oh, change your color blind to this, it's amazing, or change your color blind to this, it's amazing, go to digital vibrance this, digital vibrance that, change your monitor settings. There is no monitor settings or colorblind settings that fix this, and that is why everyone uses a different setting. You're not going to find 10, if you ask 10 pros or 10 people who play the game all the time, what are your settings, they are not going to be able to tell you the right setting. There is no right setting, it's all preference. But no matter what I've tried to do, whether it's lower, raise my brightness, change from Tritanope or Deuteranope or Protanope, 0 to 10, monitor settings, digital vibrance, no matter what I do, there are certain times in game that the game is so bright, it is blinding, and it's very hard to like focus on anything. It's hard to fight people because you can barely see them. It feels like your eyes are being just torn apart. I hate it. There's also times in game where it's nighttime outside and it's extremely dark, and it's super hard to see anything that's going on or your opponent, and it's hard to track or keep up with people. It's very frustrating as well. Now, these are not during Maybe it's every day and night cycle in game at like its peak, and it's like at its lowest point of darkness. But like, I don't know what it is. It happens some games to me. I feel like some games I don't feel like it happens. But it definitely needs to be fixed or addressed because it's very bright, and maybe these like very high peaks should not be in the game, because there's definitely times at daytime when the game looks completely normal and fine, and then there's times where it looks absolutely terrible and it's extremely hard to see. And I don't think that's just a me problem. I've talked to a lot of pros, I've talked to a lot of casual players, I bring it up to my stream, and they all have this issue. Sometimes my stream looks disgustingly red or yellow or orange. It's so bright it hurts my eyes, and that needs to be fixed or addressed because it is bad. I can't believe we took out stretched res because of motion sickness, and then we have to deal with the game being so bright it literally is torching people's eyes. I've tried everything, trust me. There's no right setting. Don't comment it, please, I promise, even if you think there is. All right, second thing is balancing out the differences in controller and keyboard mouse. Now, I'm sure I've talked about this before a million times, but it's something that should be in this video, and it needs to be addressed, and I don't understand for the life of me why these are issues, why these are things. Now, I'm going to make a separate video entirely talking about binds for controller, because I think controller players get treated very poorly when it comes to bind selections and bind options in every video game. Apex, Warzone, Fortnite, any game, whatever game, not Valorant. Any battle royale on controller and any game on controller that has keyboard support or keyboard game that has controller support, it seems like the controller players are treated really poorly in terms of binds. Like, this is all we get. Not that this isn't a lot, because it is a lot. It's a lot of customization compared to a lot of other games as well. Don't get me wrong. It is. But when you compare it to this, and keyboard doesn't have everything right, I'm going to talk about that too, but when you compare it to this, I don't even know what DBNO, place, and carry mean. I mean, seriously. I know my camera's on like the wrong side here. I'm going to move it for you guys. I mean, this is absurd. It's a lot more than us for no reason either. I know they have more keys, and some of you guys might not understand. Like I said, I'm gonna make a full video on this in a couple days. I promise. It's gonna be a banger, so make sure you sub for that video. Turn noties on. It's gonna be a banger. Look at all these settings. Like, I don't even know what some of this means. Like, I don't even understand it. And controller doesn't even, we can't, for controller, we have to press switch mode to place builds, right? We have to pull out, press switch mode to be able to place our builds, which I think is absurd. Keyboard mouse players don't have to do that. Obviously there's differences in each thing. Keyboard mouse players are allowed to bind certain guns and weapons, certain item slots to different keys, while controller players don't even have the option. I think it's crazy. I think controller players should have the option. Controller players don't have a one button reset. Keyboard mouse players literally have scroll wheel, and regardless of what anyone says or thinks, everyone knows that it's very useful or helpful. And for some reason it hasn't been removed from the game, and controller players have no way of doing it without macroing. There are controller players who macro, I'm sure, and cheat, but I don't want to do that. And I also don't want to be known as a cheater, and I also would just like it to be more fair. I don't know how we can't get a one button reset, or just remove scroll wheel as an option so everyone has to press 3 buttons like they're supposed to, you know what I mean? The only thing I think is an outlier between the two is aim assist, because I think if you get rid of aim assist, normally I think you kind of kill the point. You kind of ruin the game a little bit, you know, like controller players might not play, and I know Epic would never do that, so that's the only thing I'm going to leave out. I do think for controller players that needing like keyboard stuff, I think controller players need a better reset option, way better reset option. I think we need a sniper sense, because somehow we don't have a sniper sense, and I don't think I'll ever understand that for the life of me. They got rid of it. It used to be a game, it used to be an option, and now it's not. So we can't update our sniper sense at all. It's kind of weird. I think keyboard mouse players need build mode and edit mode sensitivities for sure. I don't know why they don't have it. I don't know why it's not an option when it could probably very easily could be. It's just balancing the two as much as possible would result in the least amount of complaining. Like, why do we not have a sniper sense and keyboarders do? And why do keyboard players have no build and edit sense and we do? Like, why can't they just give everyone these things? Why do they try to accommodate for different things like they're that different? Because they are obviously very different, but just balance the two out. If something's on controller, try to give it to keyboarders. Let us have better bind option, more bind options. If I want to bind my left stick to slot 1 in my inventory so I can pull up my AR, and then my right stick to slot 2 to pull up my shotgun, let me bind left stick and right stick to my AR shotgun. Who cares? The point is just give us options, and these games need to realize that that's a big important thing. And I'm trying not to bash as much as possible. I want to be as nice and helpful and responsive as possible, but I mean, you know, these are issues. Okay, moving on from binds. Obviously those are things that I've been complaining about forever. Next is lack of POIs. Now I'm gonna just go into a game real quick to show you guys the issues that I'm having right now. Perfect, we're in. Doesn't matter where I land. I'm gonna land real quick so this noise gets out of my ear. But look, point is, look at the map. I think this has been a complaint in the game for a long time, and I know they add things like this, which are really cool, and they add things like the IO, and they fix corny, and I'm not trying to complain about the new things they add, but the point of all this is, look at the map. So we went from we have how many POIs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 POIs in the game. Now, if you guys remember, Shark used to be a fully built thing. There's a POI up there. Now it's destroyed. Shark could have been a POI. We used to have Yacht up here. I don't know why Stealthy's not marked, but you know, whatever. We used to have Agency, Authority in middle. Risky used to be marked, and they could also add more loot. We used to have Fortilla down here, Fortilla, whatever anyone wants to say. It was here. Camp Cod could be a little bit bigger and have more loot. What else do we used to have that isn't there anymore? I mean, we had Grotto, which is just non-existent anymore for literally no reason. We used to have Hunter's Haven or something like that up top, which was huge. It was something on the map that was it was a POI. It had another spot for people to land. And I know this is more of a competitive player issue, so don't get me wrong when I say this. I'm not trying to bash anything, and I understand maybe casuals don't think it's as big of an issue, and maybe there's server lag issues with it. Maybe there's some server lag issues that we don't know about, and that's why they don't do it. The point is, we used to have Yacht. Like, okay, so if Shark's back, something's here. Agency, like Hunter's Haven, that's 3. Yacht 4. Grotto 5. Fortilla 6. We used to have this exact same map like 3 or 4 seasons ago with all of those POIs. So we went from having 14, 15 POIs or whatever to like 20. And in competitive, that means everyone gets their own landing spot and people don't have to land on each other anymore, which makes competitive less frustrating. People don't get as annoyed because they don't get landed on, and it just adds more places for people to land. It gives more loot. And I'm gonna add this along with it, the 100% chest spawns. I don't get why we decrease chest spawns and also decrease the amount of places people can land for these chest spawns, if that makes sense. Like, so there's just no variety in the game. Basically, the point of 50% chest spawns was so people couldn't like land and team because there wouldn't be enough loot, so they'd have to fight over the loot. But all that does is add more RNG. It makes all spawn fights really frustrating because part of the game is out dropping someone, landing before them to get that chest. And now if you land up for a specific chest, it's not even there 100% of the time. If you want to land and get all the kills at Slurpee, you used to land on the top pole up top, the stack, the cigarette, whatever anyone called it, and you get that chest. And now if you land up there, it's risky because if you pull for it and there's no chest, you're gonna get out dropped. And then there's something like Steamy. People used to land on the tower here, and if you get a chest, you can get some kills. Retail, you land Water Tower, maybe you get some kills at Water Tower. The point is, you used to land for a chest and it was fun shooting for that main chest because it was always there, and now it's not, and it just makes the game so much more RNG. It makes dying in game out of your control sometimes. I just think giving the player more options and more like control over their fate makes a less frustrating experience, and that's just me personally. I think 100% chest spawns is a universally loved thing. I don't think anyone wants. The only person I can imagine that wants 50% chest spawns or anything but 100 is like the worst player in the entire universe. That is like, oh, thank God I landed here and got a chest and that guy didn't because he got unlucky. Like, it just doesn't. It's an unskillful thing, and I understand unskillful is part of like the way Epic does things and they cater to the public, and I get it, but it's really frustrating. And at least in arena / competitive, could we have 100% chest spawns, please? It would be a game changer. Also, like I said, back to the POI thing, we're just missing out on a ton of spots and a ton of loot, and it's not very exciting. The map hasn't changed drastically at all. It's really frustrating having to deal with the same map every season. You expect new things. We're missing, like I said, 6 spots probably where there were POIs and were spots to land. Now there just aren't. Like, if you're gonna remove something, at least please try to replace it with something. That would be super huge for us and helpful. It'd be great. I think everyone would appreciate that a ton, more than Epic even realizes, to have cooler spots on the map. Like, if you're gonna remove Agency, Authority, don't leave a hole in the center of the map for an entire season that has absolutely nothing. You know what I mean? Or like something up here, you remove Hunter's Haven and you just, there's nothing there anymore. It's like this there now, which is fine. I mean, I guess that's decent, but it wasn't there for a while, so there was literally nothing here. Something like Fortilla, I mean, it was all here. Now Fortilla's completely gone, or like Rig. These places are completely gone. There's no loot here anymore. I mean, like Yacht was literally just another place for people to land out with loot, and it's not there. Grotto is another place for people to land out with loot. It's not there. It's a lot of our main POIs and things that made the game really fun and gave a spice to where you had to land or could land. It makes people stay alive longer because there's more spots to land too. Your games in turn would probably last a lot longer. So I'm gonna move on from this point, but that you get what I'm saying. Okay, I don't have an example for this next one, guys, but I think this is a pretty universally hated thing in the Fortnite community, and it is moving surge. Maybe my editor could throw up a clip. If not, it's fine. I understand why they wouldn't. It might be kind of hard to get. Moving surge as a mechanic, I understand why people think it should and shouldn't be in the game. All right, now the reason that I think moving surge should not be in the game is because once moving surge only activates after 50 surge, which means there has to be anywhere from 31 to like moving zone surge, if that doesn't make sense. This is for like stacked end games competitive. There has to be anywhere from 31 to 49 people alive for moving surge to activate in moving zones. Now I see the point of doing it, of having it, because it's like you're trying to eliminate people faster so the game ends faster, so there's less builds on the map, so the server lag goes down. But I kind of am getting the feeling that like people are at that point in the game when there's less than 50 people and they're all in the small moving zones, everyone's looking for kills. Some people are shambles, they're already going to fight. I think it's pointless. It forces people to jump in boxes and absolutely ruin games for no reason when it's not a necessity to the game. It's not a necessary addition. It's just something that is forcing people to fight when people are already going to fight because they need to. It's not a necessary mechanic. It seems busted. And also moving surge hurts the most, or surge in general is frustrating because sometimes when people hit launch pads, this is strictly a competitive issue. So if you're more casual, I'll get to more casual issues later. But if you're hitting launch pads, I've seen so many clips, and I've had it happen to me a million times, where people are launch padding past me and I'm hitting blanks. Like I'm hitting them and it's giving me the little reticle that I'm hitting them, but it's not doing damage. So I could put 2 full clips into people, hit 10 blanks, and then die to surge. And while I understand it's there to thin the herd, I almost feel like the lightning in the map and the surge mechanic could also be giving some game lag. I don't know. Maybe that's making the game lag worse. We've had surge for a while. Maybe take it out at that point in the game. I like 50 surge. I like 70 surge. I do not like moving surge. I don't really think anyone thinks it's that skillful. There's a couple people who I talked to that like it, but it's really not worth having. People are already going to die at that point in the game, and it just causes havoc, and it's not fun. It's the most frustrating thing to die to, and there's too many bugs and blanks that happen in competitive stack lobbies to have surge killing people, because it's strictly reliant, for those of you who don't know how surge works, the more tags you get, the more above surge you are. So if you're blanking people in the sky, like you're hitting hit markers and not doing damage in laggy servers, that happens a lot, and then you get hit by surge, you're like, well, if those hit markers didn't happen, I would have lived, which is true. So maybe just remove moving surge. I think that'd be huge for the game. I think that'd be great for the competitive scene. I don't think anyone thinks it should be in the game. It is just not worth having. My next point is an arena revamp. It needs one. We really need one. I mean, really, it's like an ongoing thing for probably over a year now. However long arena's been out, it has been an ongoing thing where we just need something to change. We need it more competitive. I'd like to see it become more like scrims, more like endgame. The games are all dead. The motivation to play is at an all-time low, and we just need some incentives, please. I have a video that came out either before this or after this. If it's after, make sure you sub. If it's before, hopefully you watch it or go back and watch it. It's like a 25-minute video, or it's me. I record for 25 minutes, just talking, my honest thoughts on it. Go watch that video. It's solid. It'll pretty much tell you everything I think or you would need to know about that. I'm not going to go over it too much, but arena needs a revamp bad. Next one is stream sniper support. Now, I don't know the proper way to even go about this, but I do know a lot of big content creators have left the game because there is not much stream sniper support for them. I know there's some, but maybe there's just not enough. I've had times, and this might not relate to some of you guys on YouTube, but in my stream Twitch chat, it's very obvious when people are stream sniping. And I think a lot of people don't understand that stream sniping is as bad of a thing as it is. Some people think, I've seen TikTok and YouTube comments defending stream sniping, which I'll never understand for the life of me. It is inherently a bad thing, and there's truly no counter to it as a streamer. Streaming with delay is miserable, and it cuts the interaction between you and your chat. And then covering screen is just still, people are going to get in your game in Fortnite because the queues are like a couple minutes sometimes. So like if anyone queues up, they're going to get in your game. Covering screen's not going to help. It's really not that crazy. And people always think there's ways around it, and there's really not that many ways around it. If someone wants to stream snipe you, they can in Fortnite and in a lot of other games, but mostly Fortnite. It's probably the easiest game to stream snipe in, and it is really frustrating for the content creators / competitive players who try to stream and provide content for your game and Epic, and they want the best for the game, And it is incredibly difficult to play when you have someone or multiple people every single game running around with the sole purpose of killing you or ruining your experience of playing. And the game as a streamer at the highest level, as sad as it may sound, no matter how much money these streamers are making or no matter how successful these people are, they got into gaming for a reason. They love the game, and stream snipers are a big reason why people end up hating what they do, which used to be their getaway. Like, people used to get away from the outside life and the social anxiety they may suffer with and play video games because it was the one release they had. It was the one time of their day when they could be happy. And it goes from that into a career, which is amazing. And I'm forever grateful, don't get me wrong, but getting stream sniped repeatedly for hours on end might be like, it's just like, it ruins that. And a lot of people might not understand this. I've talked about this on stream plenty of times, but it ruins that. Like, a lot of people game because it's their happy place. It's how they get away from the real world and don't have to deal with any issues. And I went from gaming like that, and getting stream sniped is just, it makes your one place that you grew up feeling safe in gaming as like not a safe place anymore, not a fun place to be anymore. And then you don't have anywhere else to go because you've been gaming as that outlet, and now that outlet is destroyed. And I hope that makes sense to a lot of you guys. We need something epic, please. Just some type of stream sniper supporter. I don't have many solutions, but there's got to be something we could do. And maybe give big streamers or certain streamers roles that, like, if someone streams, like, tell them to be careful with it and don't just randomly do it. But like, if someone's blatantly in their game 5 times in a row, maybe give certain streamers the option to get rid of those people. Or like, maybe have devs go through streams specifically, or people go through streams working at Epic that can just ban people on the fly for them. Like, it would be huge. Next thing, which I could probably find in game right here. Next thing in the game, which is incredibly frustrating, is fire. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take me to find fireflies. I feel like I hear them. I don't know if fireflies are only at night or not either. But the fire nerf in this game, there was a thing called Fire Week, and I don't know how long Fire Week has been going on for, but the damage is ticking for way too much. Builds are setting on fire, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I think it's one of the more frustrating ways to die in game. All right, I'm gonna look for, is that fireflies? Please tell me it's fireflies. Oh, thank God I found him. That was fast. It's probably one of the biggest complaints in competitive right now. Dying to fire is not skillful. It's not fun, and it's too much. It's literally just too much, I think. So watch this. I need some wood. I have 3 fireflies. Fire used to hit for, I think, 5 or maybe even 10 when you were to hit someone with it, but now it hits for 15 every tick. Watch what happens when I throw it. Is anything happening? Like, is it just not, am I in battle lab, so is it different or something? Okay, well, fireflies just apparently don't work in battle labs. And okay, fireflies don't work in this. I tried, whatever, who cares? Fireflies are busted. Fire is busted. When you set builds on fire, it hits people for way too much, and I think it's a bug because of how long it's been in the game. Fire Week was a specific thing where the fire did more damage for that week, and there were flame bows in the game and stuff. Flame bows were removed, but that damage is still there, and I don't even know if Epic knows that it's in the game, and it's such an issue. All right, guys, this is a video from my cash cup. This is to show you guys how annoying fire is in this game right now. This is a cash cup video. We end up actually losing out on money because of this, but in general, it's just a really frustrating thing that should not be happening in the game. I think, I don't know why it's still a thing. I think it's a bug. I'm not really sure. All right, so look, we're playing. We're pretty stacked still. We look for low ground. Low ground in comp is super important. All right, we have a lot of mats. I have like 10 builds, 15 builds. Trash is 500. Look, we have low ground, and we have mats to play this game. Watch. This is just an example of how broken fire is and how frustrating it is to deal with. By the way, like, there's no way to really get away from it. Watch. Oh shit! I gotta get in. I gotta get in. The fire's gonna kill me, bro. I need to get up. What the fuck is this game, dude? Live, Jesse. All good, all good. Oh, no way. We just died to fire. Fuck, man. It's an exaggerated example from what's going on, because obviously not stuff like that. Stuff like that doesn't always happen. But fire just does too much damage, basically. It does way too much. It can fully ruin people's games, and it's not an enjoyable mechanic. You can't edit builds that are on fire. There's no real counter to it when you get set on fire, especially if you only have wood. So it'd be great if it could just get like a nerf or something. It'd be great. Amazing. Thank you. Next thing. All right, cosmic chests giving rockets / no guns, like RPGs. Basically, there's RPGs in the game that aren't in the game apparently. So sometimes when you open a cosmic chest, like a super chest, you will get no gun, which apparently means that you're getting an RPG, is what I've been told. You open these chests that are supposed to give you a legendary or like rare epic weapon, and you get nothing because an RPG is what's spawning out of it, which is, I think, ridiculous. I don't know why that's a glitch. Just letting you guys know it's a glitch. Hopefully someone at Epic can fix that. That'd be much appreciated. It's a weird one, I'm sure, but it does happen. And there are rockets in the game when nothing takes rockets in the game right now. So I don't even know why ammo for rockets are in the game. And I'm just letting you know that's a glitch. I don't have an example, but it happens a lot. If you play the game, trust me, it happens. One thing that I'll go off of, I'll go use this other point right now in this chest thing because it's a bug. Sometimes when you open henchman chests or regular chests, the gun or minis or something you need gets stuck inside of the chest, and the only way to get it out is to break the chest entirely or break the floor of the chest is done so the chest breaks. I just think it's a mechanic that probably shouldn't be in the game. It needs to be fixed. There's no reason or excuse for me to be opening a chest and having the gun that I need to kill someone or to fight or minis that I need to pop go inside the chest. There should just be a hitbox around it, or some way to, there's got to be some way to make it so the loot doesn't pop out and have the ability to go back inside the chest and then it's ungrabbable for anyone. That's another bug. I don't really have an example, but it happens all the time. Like I'll open a chest and then the gun, there will be a guy on my back. I'll open this chest. I'll try to get the gun and it'll go inside the chest and I have to break the chest. And while I'm breaking the chest to get the gun, the guy's pickaxing me and I die. Easy point, out of the way. It's annoying. Needs to be fixed. It's a little bug. Next one is the zone bug. Next one I'm gonna go over is the zone bug. I know I don't have like a full-on example of this, but everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say this. Here, I'll open up Fortnite again, just so you guys can kind of see. But it basically, if you are on any point of the map around here, any mountain zones have zone bug, especially what seems to be this corner. If you are in this caddy area of the map, you are almost guaranteed to not be in zone if it says you're in zone. Like say the circle is like this, or say the circle's like this, and it's this circle right here. I'll try to paint a picture for you guys. This is the edge of zone right here. Say it's a little circle going like that, right? Imagine there's a circle there and you're right here. You're definitely in, right? You're in the circle because the circle is outside and you're right here. For some reason, and it's been addressed a million times by the pro community. It's been told to the developers that we've been in contact with. This has been a bug in the game for I don't know how long, and I don't know what makes it a bug, but if this could be fixed, it would be huge for the game. I cannot tell you the amount of times a zone pulls down here and the players will think they're in because it shows that they're in zone on the map, which is all you can really go off of, and then they're in a competitive lobby and there's a million people around them like getting ready to shoot people, and then the storm basically comes right past you, and then you'll be in zone still on the mini map when the storm's past you, but you're out of zone in game, and then that results in you getting killed because you have to open your box and move forward when you're supposed to just be hanging out and not doing anything, or because everyone will look at you, and the second you go in you just die. And it's one of the most frustrating bugs in the game. Everyone knows about it, so we've learned to play with it. That's why you probably don't see that many complaints about it anymore, but it's still a massive issue, and it's been around for probably a couple years now, or over a year since this map's been in the game. If you are on any type of mountain or hill, like even over here, any high mountain, the higher up you get, it seems like the more zone is bugged. Like I said, on the map it'll just show that you're in zone, but you're really just not in zone, and it's incredibly frustrating. Seems like an easy fix, maybe it's not, or else maybe it'd be fixed already. It's just frustrating. So if someone could please try to fix that one, or at least give us some like communication about it, let us know it's not that easy, that'd be great, because it's a really frustrating bug that has been in the game for a long time. Next, let's move on to how you can't build in certain spots. Let's see if this still works. Let's see if this example still works. Fishing spot. Could be wrong, might not work. Fishing spot. As far as I know, unless they fixed it, you weren't able to build in fishing spots for some reason. Why? Why can I not place a wall here? Or here? Like this to me, and maybe I'm nitpicking a little bit. To me, these 3 walls seem like they should be easy to place, but for some reason I've died to this multiple times in game before, and it's an incredibly frustrating bug. There's almost no reason, like, why can I not build on a fishing spot, but I can build on a rock, or like on a mountain, you know, or like on a car or a wall? Like, there's obviously some walls that you can't build on that are frustrating. Like, why can I build on this crate and I can't build on a fishing spot? You know what I mean? That's got to be a bug. It never used to be in the game before. It never used to be an issue. I've died in multiple tourneys and lost money once again because of this issue before, and it was very frustrating. So please, Epic, you can build anywhere in the water. Epic, please fix. Like, why can I not build here? What is the reason? Is it just a water thing? Like, you can't build floors down there? Or, well, that's fine maybe, but then you get to the fishing spot and you can't build like walls in certain spots. You know what I mean? This one seems fine, I guess. I don't really know what it is. Just let us build. Like, why can I not place these walls? Please. Please fix it, Epic. It needs to be fixed. That is a frustrating bug, and it serves zero purpose. Just let us build on everything. You know what I mean? If it's in the game and it should let you build, just let us build, please, you know? I'd be down for that. What is next on the list? Let's find next thing. Okay. So this one I'm not going to have an example for, but I can show you guys pretty well, and I don't really have to go back anywhere. I can just farm some brick. Ready? So this was a really good suggestion, actually, because it's one of the last ones I had and I didn't have it. Okay, so say I'm in this box, right? And my teammate is dead in this box, right? And he is against the wall, dead body right here. And there's a guy on that wall, and I'm trying to save him. And I go try to edit the wall. I'm gonna pump the wall because for some reason, I don't know if it's a binds thing in game, but it's been a bug for a long time where if your teammate is too close to the wall that you try to edit, or the floor that you try to edit, it will think you're trying to interact with your teammate maybe or something, and it just doesn't let you edit the wall if your teammate's too close to it. I don't have any like examples, and I don't have anyone I'm with right now. I'm just in this call by myself, so I can't really show you guys, but I mean, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about if you're in the game. Like, there's no real solution to it or anything. Like, it just needs to be fixed, and I'm sure that'd be huge. Like, it doesn't make sense because I don't even think it's a bind issue. When your teammate's against the wall, I try to go for an edit and I just pump the wall because my edit won't register for no reason. Also, if your teammate's right here on the other side of the wall knocked, if there's, or not even your teammate, if it's any enemy or your teammate, if there's a knocked body on either side of the wall, if say he's over there, like on that side of the wall, I still can't edit sometimes if he's too close. It just seems like a bug. Maybe it's difficult to fix, but if that could be fixed, that would be huge for the game, and I'd really appreciate that one. No aim assist on certain spots of the map is my next point, but that might be kind of hard to show. I know for a fact there's some places okay, so if Epic really does cater to players that aren't as good or aren't as great at the game, you would think they'd want to cater to their casual audience, and their casual audience, I'd imagine, is full of controller players, right? And controller players need aim assist to be able to aim for the most part, especially casual ones. So how come there's spots like this on the map that I'm about to show you? When I go down to the corny basement, it's a perfect example of spots where there's just no aim assist, and I don't know if it's a bug. I don't know if it's just because of the hitbox, or maybe this is an unfixable bug, but this would be huge if we could get this figured out. Watch. I know this one for a fact because I land here, but I'm sure there's a million of these spots on the map that could also be fixed. Ready? This corner right here, this little wall, I'm gonna trigger to come here. This thing does not let me get aim assist to it. This pole, watch. I have no, like, near this pole, I have almost no slowdown when it gets near this pole. See, it slows down now when she's away, but when I'm next to the pole, there's none. There's no aim assist on that, like these two right here, none. But then it slows down when I get to here, you see? But when I'm gonna die. It doesn't even matter if I die. Point is, there's little spots like this on the map where you don't get aim assist, and that is a big issue to a lot of players, and it's incredibly frustrating dying without having aim assist. And it might sound like an excuse, but at the same time, it's frustrating, you know what I mean? Like, you have aim assist 1 second and then you die because of not having aim assist, and it's just been in the game for a long time where there's certain spots, certain windows where you don't get it, and it's just like, why? Maybe there's a reason, maybe there's not. I feel like aim assist should be able to be had through those areas. Basic one, little issue. One that I want to talk about, which isn't really as much of a thing I can show you guys, or the rest aren't really things I can show you guys. Yeah, I can't really show you guys anything else. Skill-based matchmaking is something that should be addressed. I think pubs should never have skill-based matchmaking. Like, what is the point of having a public match have skill-based matchmaking when you have a rank system that has skill-based matchmaking. Like, pub should just be anyone who wants to play can fill in and play against good or bad players. Anyone. Ranked should be skill-based, and I don't really understand the point of it. I think it's for like, I think the argument to be made is like, oh, new players love the idea of skill-based matchmaking because they're bad and like they want to be able to first bad players, but inherently that just like kind of ruins the game, fighting against robots the whole time. And like, I just think overall pub should just never have skill-based matchmaking. I get the argument behind it, but it's really not, doesn't make a lot of sense when you have a ranked mode with skill-based as well. You know what I mean? I don't really have any like example for that. I think the last one I have on this is Cronus Zen / anti-cheat. Now, even if I did know anyone who used it, because I wouldn't snitch. There are a lot of people using macro devices, probably soft aim, and Cronus Zens, which is like borderline sticky aim, like soft aim basically. There's no way to detect it, and while I know I don't cheat, I know that every time I go into an event or arena, there's a good chance I'm playing with people who aren't playing the game how it's supposed to be played. I don't know how there's no anti-cheat to prevent these things. I don't know if that's something that is even possible to prevent these little things from being caught. I know there's people who use macro programs that macro scroll to their controllers. As much as I think that's fair to keep up with keyboarders, it's not technically allowed. And to me, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to have like a very vague set of rules for what people can and can't do. Like, Cronus Zen is literally just giving people better aim on controller. You plug it in, it just lets you have better aim, and for some reason these people are running around not getting caught. And I think it's pretty frustrating knowing that I don't cheat and I play all these events against people who I do know are cheating. So if that can be fixed, that's pretty much the last thing I have. That'd be great, because these things are all important issues and they kind of need to be fixed, and I think it would make the game significantly improved. That's all I have for today's video, man. Guys, leave a like, share it with people, try to get it out there, man. I mean, seriously, I just want the best for the game. I really do. It might sound like I'm complaining, because I definitely am, but I love this game and I just want it to be the best it can be. I want to go back to the fun ways when every time you get on, you know what to expect, and it's just, you know you're gonna have a good time. And right now it's like there's too much in the game that can decide your fate for you, and it's not very fun dealing with that. If you guys like the video, leave a like, comment if I missed anything, please, because I might have missed something. I'll probably end up reading all the comments to see if I missed anything. Peace.